guys! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I have a totally different type of video for you guys that I've never done on my channel before. But when I asked you guys on my community tab whether or not you want to see my K-pop album collection, an overwhelming amount of you said yes. I was actually shocked. I'm here to deliver, so today we are going to go through every single album that I own so far, and I'll show you my pulls, so like my photocard pulls, and just talk about my favorite songs off of each album and stuff like that. We have a lot to go through, so without any more rambling, let's just get right into it. I think before we get into it, it's the best place to start at my system of how I actually collect K-pop albums. I started buying/receiving K-pop albums in 2018, but I didn't start like actively collecting them until this year. I actually have like a list in my notes on my phone of all of the albums that were released in 2021 that I enjoyed so much that I actually want to get a physical version of. So whenever I listen to a new album, I will listen to it and then decide whether or not I want to actually buy a physical version of it. And if I do, then I'll put it on that list. I also have a separate part of that list with like older albums that I really enjoy and I want to still purchase but are not like my high priority. So those are mostly albums from like my old groups such as BTS, Blackpink, Ateez, G-idol. Mostly I only buy one version because I'm not in a financial situation to spend like thousands of dollars on albums. I will just buy one version of each album and that way be able to support more artists. That's kind of my system, if you can even call it that, of collecting. Now we can finally get into the very first group. So we are starting off with SuperM. That's actually my one and only album in this collection, which is their first mini album called SuperM. I don't even know, and I have Mark's version. I don't think this collection is gonna grow any further because this was an impulse buy. I bought an album that I don't even enjoy. I don't enjoy a single song off of it. So yeah, I'm just keeping it, but I don't think I'll ever grow my collection of SuperM albums any further. Here is like the front of the album. Here is the back and the side. Yeah, for the track list, if I had to pick my favorite song, it would probably be Supercar. But as I said, I don't like a single song on the album, so that's that for that. Since this is Mark's version, the whole photo shoot is Mark. And another reason why I don't want to sell this album is because just look at this. Just look at this photo shoot. It's amazing. I really love like the theme of it. In terms of the photo card, you only get one in this album. And I pulled Dan's photo card. I personally really love this photo card. I don't know why, because he's not doing any special pose or anything, but I think it's super adorable. Here is the back as well. That's it for my SuperM collection, so let's move on to the next group. Next group we have is Ateez, and once again, this is my only album in this collection, but as you guys know, I do actually stan Ateez, so this collection will be growing. This is their Treasure Epilogue Action to Answer album. I have this, I don't know how it's called, but it's the red version. There were two versions, blue and red, so yeah, I got the red one. This is the front of the album. This is the back, the side. Overall, I think this photo shoot is super amazing. Like, hello, Jongho, hello. Like, look at this. It's very simplistic, but I think I prefer this version to the blue ones. Look at my man. Look at my man. Look at my man. It reminds me a lot of their Say My Name era, which is one of my favorite eras they've ever done. In terms of the track list, I think my favorite song on the album is actually the title track, Answer. But from the B-sides, I think Precious is my favorite B-side. You got one random photo card, and for that, I pulled this cute ass Sam card. Literally look at him and tell me this is not the cutest card you've ever seen. I'm obsessed with this card. Here is the back. I personally am not really the biggest fan of the back. It's super plain. For most Ateez cards, actually. This is all from my Ateez collection. So now let's move on to the next group. Next on our list is another old group of mine, and that's Twice. This is the first out of all of the Twice albums that I own, and it's their 9th mini album, More and More. I think this is the A version, but I'm not 100% sure. It's my favorite version though, so I'm really glad that I own this one. This is like the front of it. The back. In terms of the track list, I actually like every single song on this album except for Firework. That one's not really for me. But my favorite one is definitely Shadow, followed by Oxygen. Those are like the top two. Here is also the side of it, very reflective, really pretty. I pulled a Jihyo CD when it comes to like random stuff. Twice does like random CD plates, and I got a Jihyo. In terms of the photo book, this is just stunning. It has so many flowers, beautiful like colors. It's just I'm just obsessed with it. Just like literally look at this. Look at this. It's so calming to look at. I love flipping through it every once in a while. In terms of the photo cards, as you guys know, you get 5 photo cards in each Twice album, at least lately that's been the case. I don't know how it's been before because I don't have any Twice album before this era. The photo cards that I pulled were this really cute group card. I personally really like it, although I know many people don't like pulling group cards. I personally really like this one. Then there's really cute Jonghyun. Then Chaeyoung in this freebie looking concept. I don't know how else to call it. Then I have Momo in the exact same concept. You will see, guys, as we go through this collection that Momo really loves me. I pull her in every single album. And then I have my bias, Nayeon, in this same concept. So yeah, this is all for this album. Let's move on to the next one. Next up in my Twice collection, we have their second full album, Eyes Wide Open. And this is my favorite version of the 3, the retro version. So this is the front of it, the back, and the side. For the random plate, I pulled Chewy, another member that really loves showing up in my albums. In terms of the track list, if I had to pick my favorite one, I would probably say Up No More. But I also really enjoy Behind the Mask, Shot Clock, and the title track I Can't Stop Me. In terms of the photo book, it's really surprising that I enjoy it this much, because you guys know retro concepts are some of my least favorite things to ever happen to K-pop. Look at this. Look at Nayeon. This is one of her best looks. In terms of the pulls, once again, you got 5 photo cards plus 1 message kind of card. So let me show you what I pulled. So in terms of the message card, I pulled Chewy. As I said, she loves showing up in my albums. Here is her little message. In terms of the photo cards, we first have this group one. I actually have 2, because before I bought this album, I traded one of my photo cards for it and for another unit card that I'll show you. And then I bought this album and I pulled it as well. So I have 2 of these. Then I have this unit of Nayeon, Momo, and Jonghyun. Then I pulled a Chewy card in this same concept as like the message card. Then I pulled this little Sana card from the train station concept outfit. Then I pulled this Superior Dayan card, probably my favorite Twice card that I own so far. And lastly, I pulled another Momo. As I said, she loves showing up in my albums. This is actually all for my Twice collection so far. Next group, as you guys probably assumed will come sooner or later, is Blackpink, my second biggest collection out of all of the groups I own so far. So this is their first mini album, Square Up, black version. This is the front of the album, the back, and the side. So in terms of the photo book, I really love this photo shoot. By the way, this is the Dudu era, in case any of you are not like familiar with Blackpink as much. But I really love this photo shoot. It has this type of grainy filter over it, but I think I prefer the pink photo shoot over this one. Like, look at my woman. Look at her. In terms of the track list, I think my favorite song on this album is See You Later, followed by Dudu. But you got 2 photo cards in this album, and let me show you who I pulled. First up, I pulled Jennie! Like, you better believe I screamed when I pull this card. So this is the back with her little signature. And the second one is Jisoo. Here is the back. Without further ado, let's move on to the next Blackpink album. Next up, we have Kill This Love, their second mini album, and one of the rare albums where I have all of the versions. So the black and the pink version. This is the front of the black version, the back, and the side. And then here is the little pink version, which is actually my favorite out of the two. So we will flip a little bit through this one. I'm sure you guys are not surprised that this is my favorite version, despite this being a very questionable look. Like, look. If this isn't one of the best Jennie looks ever, like, it's just superior. I love all of the pink tints again to it, the outfits, all of it. Like, look. Kill This Love was a superior styling era, and I don't take constructive criticism. In terms of the track list, this is actually one of my least favorite title tracks by Blackpink, but some of my favorite B-sides ever are on this album. And my favorite song is actually Don't Know What to Do. But in terms of the photo cards, you got one in each album. So I pulled, for the black version, I pulled Lisa. Lisa loves showing up in my albums. Here's her little back. And for the pink version, I pulled Rosé. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy because this is actually the only rosé card I have so far. Here is the back as well. So yeah, this is all for this album. Let's move on to the last Blackpink album I own so far. So the last Blackpink album that I own is their first full album, The Album. This is version 1, so just a plain black. Here is the side, which is actually just pink. In terms of the photo book, this is for sure not my favorite. My favorite is actually version 4, which I will try to get. But still, I mean, look at her. She's stunning. I think this version is still beautiful. It's very minimalistic. I love the whole white background thing a lot. In terms of the track list, you guys know this is one of my favorite K-pop albums of all time. But my favorite song on the album is Pretty Savage, followed by Love to Hate Me. For the photo cards, we actually got 2, and I only own one of them. I pulled this Jisoo card that I'll put on the screen. I actually traded it off. I don't have it anymore. But the other card I pulled is Lisa. And here's the little back. And this is all for my Blackpink collection. So now let's move on to the very last group, and at the same time my biggest collection, BTS. The very first album in my BTS collection is The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 2. The blue version, I guess it's called. I have no idea. I have no BTS albums before this era, so this is the earliest era that I own a physical album for. This is the front, the back, which is really pretty. In terms of the track list, my favorite song without a doubt is Butterfly, followed by Welly and 52. If you guys are familiar with BTS in any way, then I'm sure you guys know why I own this specific version. First of all, the Hello Orange Jimin, my favorite thing to ever happen to this world. Min Hyungi with tattoos. Literally, hello, hello, hello. I miss Min Hyungi so much, you guys don't even understand. Just like, look at him. His best photo shoot to date, literally nothing passes it. In terms of the photo cards, you get one photo card in each BTS album. So this was since the very beginning. And for this one, I pulled Little J-Hope. I think this card is so adorable actually, so I'm really happy with it. Here is the little back. Without any more rambling, let's just move on to the next BTS album. Next BTS album I own is their special edition album, Young Forever. This is the day version of the album. So yeah, this is the front, the back. Here is the track list, which is huge. So if you expect me to pick my favorite song off of the album, not gonna happen. Here is the side. In terms of the photo book, this is simply stunning. I love outdoorsy photo books, and this one just gave me all. Like, they look so cute. We got little units, the cutest outfits. Like, literally look at this. So precious. Also blonde jean superior. Like, look at you. Okay. So as I already said, you get one photo card per album, and in this album it was actually Polaroid style, and I have it like framed. So I'll put it on the screen. I pulled group one, which I'm so happy with actually, because this is such a special album for the boys and for all of us armies. So yeah, without any more rambling, move on to the next album. Next one I have is Wings, my second favorite BTS album of all times. So I only have one version. This is the front. The back. In terms of the track list, my favorite song on this album is First Love, followed by probably Cypher Part 4. And this is the side, so you guys can see I have this version, which is actually Jin's version along with other members, but it's mainly Jin, as you can see, which I'm super happy with actually, although he's not like my bias or second bias or whatever, you know. In terms of the photo cards, again, it was Polaroid style. I pulled Yoongi actually, but I gave it away to my girlfriend, so it's in her possession. I don't have it. The next BTS album I own is, without a surprise, a repackage of Wings, You Never Walk Alone. So I have this blue beachy version. So yeah, this is the front. And the back, they're so cute, literally adorable. And the side. So in terms of the track list, all of the songs are the same as in Wings since it's a repackage. But we got a few, like I think 4 new songs. Yes, last 4 are new. And my favorite one is without a doubt Spring Day, followed up by a supplementary story, You Never Walk Alone. In terms of the photo book, this is my favorite of the two because I love the photo shoot a lot more than the first one. It's just brighter colors by the beach, more free looking, I guess. I don't know. Actually, look at them. This outfit on Jimin, superior. Like, look at this. So cute. From here on, BTS started doing like normal photo cards, so not Polaroid style anymore. Thanks God, although I love Polaroids, but they don't fit in a 9-pocket page. So I pulled J-Hope again. As you can see, J-Hope really used to love me with older albums. But as we go forward, you will see that that no longer continued. So here's the back. Ignore the damage. That's it for this album. Let's move on to the next one. Next, we have the first one in our beloved trilogy, Love Yourself. So this is Love Yourself, Her. The front, the back, and the side. Once again, in terms of the photo book, this is not my favorite version. My favorite version is whichever one is with them eating like pizza and stuff. That's my favorite. But this is one of my favorite Namjoon photos. So that's why I always order a random version. In terms of the photo card, this was actually given to me by my girlfriend who bought it on Amazon. And it just didn't come with a photo card, so I don't own any. Next, we have Love Yourself Tear, the second part of this Love Yourself trilogy. So here is the front, the back, and the side. And as you guys can see, I have the U version, which is actually my favorite version out of the 4. So this is the whole simplistic, white, crying version, as many of us call it. I just love how raw and pure it is, so that's why it's my favorite, although it breaks my heart to see them cry. In terms of the photo card, once again, I don't have it in my possession. I pulled Jungkook, which I actually also gave away to my girlfriend. The last in the trilogy is this really beautiful reflective packaging of Love Yourself Answer. This is the front, really pretty holographic almost kind of thing. And the back, the side. Despite it not being my favorite, I actually don't mind owning it. It's my least favorite only because I don't like the color scheme, like the greens and reds together, just not my thing. But other than that, I think it's still really, really beautiful. So don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at owning it at all. In terms of the photo card, I actually do have it this time. That's new by so many albums of me not owning the photo card. And I pulled Yoongi! Like, my Yoongi luck is pretty good. I mean, I pull him quite a lot, so I'm very happy with that. So here is the back. Now let's move on to the beginning of new duology. For any of you that know me very well and have been on my channel for longer, are not surprised that I own all 4 versions of Map of the Soul Persona. It's my favorite BTS album. So we have version 1, which here is the front, the back. We have version 2. They all pretty much look the exact same. just in different shades of pink. So this is version 3 and version 4, which is actually my favorite version. So you'll flip through this one. This is the whole God, wine, grapes type of concept, which I have a weird infatuation with. I think it's just so beautiful, so artistic, so just gorgeous. I'm in love with it entirely. Also like superior Jimin concept, also orange hair Jimin. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. In terms of Map of the Soul Persona, my favorite song off of it is Jamais Vu. So in terms of photocard pulls, I have 4 photocards, so 1 for each version. So let's look at them. So for version 1, I pulled this really, really cute Namjoon card, which I'm beyond happy with. Here is the back. For version 2, I pulled Tae. Version 3, we have yet another Namjoon. Here is also the back. Then for version 4, I pulled my so far favorite BTS card that I own, Jimin. My one and only Jimin card. Here is the back. So yeah, let's move on to the very last album that we have in this collection, which is Map of the Soul 7. So here we have Map of the Soul 7 album, which as you guys can see, I have version 4 of. This is the front of it. And the back, which is just plain. And then the, oh god, the whole like side of it. I'm not going to even go through like the photo book because this album does not have a photo book. It has just a bunch of random posters put together and branded as a photo book. As for the photo card, I pulled Yoongi in this really, really adorable like hat and everything. I'm obsessed with this kind of schoolboy type of look. Here is the back as well. This is actually all for my K-pop album collection. So from here on out, I will just film an unboxing video whenever I receive new albums, so that way you guys can keep up with my collection if that's something that you want. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, leave any comment you want down below, and I'll see you again very, very soon with a brand new one. Bye bye, I love you all so much.